Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today, we'll be discussing Love is an Illusion, The Queen by Fargo. Before we get started, there will be spoilers, so if you don't want me spoiling this manhwa, go ahead and click off now. No worries, I'll catch you next time. For those of you left behind, let's go over some content warnings. There may be references to mentions of arranged marriage, slut-shaming, violence, relationships between bosses and subordinates, classism, obsession, age gap, and implied male pregnancy, as these things do appear in the manhwa. But if that's all good with you, let's go and get started. As always, let's start with Synopsis. Seung-ah has been tied to Alpha Do-jum, one of his best friends and first love, for 20 years, all by choice. Initially as her friend, but ultimately as her secretary. Unfortunately, this has given Seung-ah a front row seat to all of Do-jum's sexual conquests and escapades. Seung-ah does his best to keep his longing for Do-jum under wraps. His only comfort is that Do-jum has no intention of getting into a relationship or marrying, meaning he can always be the closest one to her, even when he feels he has no right to be. He's pretty content with this arrangement until Do-jum, after seeing her brothers getting married and starting families, decides that she wants to start her own family too. Suddenly, it's not enough that Seung-ah has to chase away one-night stands, now he has to chase away the one-night stands and try to find her a worthy spouse. To his surprise, that person manifests in an unrelenting female Omega, an employee of Do-jum, and a one-night stand. Seung-ah was willing to give Do-jum over to a worthy Omega of the same class and power, but this is just too much for him to bear. Unable to see his long, unrequited love get married to someone beneath her, who isn't Seung-ah himself, he runs to their longtime friend Moojin, who's happy to comfort Seung-ah in any way he can. To start out with, let me quickly get this out of the way. I love Fargo. I'm extremely biased here, so of course the art to me is perfection. Do-jum is stunning, Seung-ah is adorable, and Moojin is everything I want in a man and more. I especially like how distinctly the alphas and omegas are drawn from one another. It would be so easy for Do-jum to look like an omega with her feminine features, but she embodies that alpha energy and looks no different while standing beside a male alpha. Same with Seung-ah. He looks right in line with all of the female omegas. It really emphasizes the importance of the secondary gender in presentation over the primary gender, which I really like to see in Omegaverse titles. As always, Fargo kills it. Beyond the art, one of the best parts about this is all the different types of love and attraction we get to see. Female and male omegas pursue a female alpha, a male alpha pursues a male omega, a female alpha pursues a male omega, etc. You get a taste of girl love, boy love, and het love throughout, which is awesome. Of course, the endgame is het, so this can't be categorized as girl love or boy love, but getting to see Seung-ah with Moojin and Do-jum with, well, everyone, is a nice change of pace from what I usually see in heterosexual romance and BL romance titles. It really highlights the best part of Omegaverse, which is that sexuality is fluid. Something I'm not all that into is the asexual representation. Asexual representation is great, but in this instance, it's used by Seung-ah as a means of avoiding his feelings for Do-jum. That reinforces beliefs that asexual individuals are lying or faking for one reason or another, and that asexuality does not exist. Thankfully, Moojin and Do-jum do take his asexuality seriously and validate it up until the point it is revealed to have been a lie. I would have much preferred if Seung-ah discovered his sexuality had changed or evolved, perhaps discovering he's demisexual instead. It's just so unfortunate that an already underrepresented and misunderstood group is used in this way when another reason could have been used. It also sets up a never-ending slew of misunderstandings between everyone, which isn't my favorite way of creating tension in fiction, so there's that. But what I really have to say is I want a series about Moojin so bad I can't even stand it. BL or het doesn't matter. He deserves love, not Seung-ah. Seung-ah was cruel to Moojin, knowing Moojin would be willing to do anything for him, though he would never truly love Moojin in return. Meanwhile, Moojin gave up his studio to take a job that he didn't want so as to support Seung-ah and had to watch Seung-ah ultimately choose Do-jum in the end. It's just so terribly sad for Moojin after everything he did for both Seung-ah and Do-jum, and I was so upset that we never really got to see where he ultimately ended up. I'm still putting it out in the world that we might possibly get a series for Moojin because he's too sweet of a character to let fall to the wayside. With all that being said, this was a tad disappointing. I love Do-jum, I love Moojin, and I love that we get to see a relationship between a female alpha and a male omega, but Seung-ah is hard to love. Being that he's our main character makes this us hard to love too. The love triangle feels lacking, much of the tension is based on misunderstandings or just straight up lies, and our endgame couple hurts far more people than necessary before finally getting together. I'm so happy Dojum ended up with the one she loved and we got to see their child, but I just wanted better for her. So, have you read Love is an Illusion, the Queen? If so, what do you think? Do you agree with my assessment? Do you not? Let me know and comment below. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time. Bye!